All right. How you doing?
God, I didn't know you hate Persona that much. Oh God, I know. Everyone's getting sick these past couple of weeks, man.
I know.
Sucks.
The thing is though, that cold kicked my ass for like 5 days. That was pathetic.
Did you
But
get
you
the
know
flu
what?
shot?
No. You know
Oh
what's
well, that
funny?
explains why.
I was actually talking to a neighbor of mine, and she was saying to me that she knows somebody that works up in White Plains, in a medical center, and she said that even people with the flu shot was coming in sick, but not as severe.
Hmm.
So
That's
yeah, the
unfortunate,
flu
though.
shot. The flu shot doesn't mean that you can't get sick.
It
That,
just helps slightly. You scrape out a day out of the 5 days you had if you had the flu shot, basically. Because
yeah, a
that
couple
flu,
days. Yeah.
flu hits hard, man. When that shit hits, it hits hard. I
It
hate
kicks
it.
your ass, man. I know. I know. Tell me about it.
All right. Well, greetings, everybody. My name is KG Prestige. Here with me, I have my pal TSS, and welcome
How you
everyone
doing?
back to another session of the PokePod World Podcast. We are in session number 10, and folks, we have a very, very hefty session tonight because there is so much to go through. I mean, a lot. And this doesn't just include Pokemon. I'm talking about gaming as a whole. Like, so much has gone and been revealed, even in the past couple of hours as we speak. A lot has been just revealed left and right. And I thought it'd be kind of, interesting to see how much we can actually tackle on each topic. I'm going to see if I can try to put a time limit on each one. But I think it might be hard, depending on how many people we actually get into call for this week's session.
Well, I do have something to talk about before all the other folks come in, because I know that we usually have a little 5 minutes of noodling.
Yeah, of course, man. Go
Um,
right ahead while I drink my
so
Doritos.
so so I so a well-known YouTuber and video game modder named Voltar recommended a $68 USB 3 video capture USB board.
Uh-huh.
And it has a funny name. It's called the PDU Video Capture USB 3 4K, whatever it is. It's not 4K. It's a 1080p capture card, and it's like
Already lying
like,
to me.
I know it. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's China, right?
Of course.
But the funny part about that USB capture device is, it's actually better than my Elgato. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because you just caught my attention there for something we just joked about and then suddenly come out of nowhere and hit me with that, oh, it's actually better. I'm like,
Yeah, the reasoning behind it is, whatever encoder chip that it uses. Number one, it syncs to signals really fucking fast. I have my Mister here, and with the Mister FPGA, the problem that I was having with the Elgato is that HDMI audio, if you try to use certain cores, such as the arcade cores, you'll get no audio at all. Zero. With this Chinese USB capture device, you get it. But you get more because it locks to all of the refresh rates, and it also works with things such as the OSSC at 5x mode. It's able to interpret like oddball refresh rates and resolutions. And it just works. You plug it in, it works. You plug it into Mac, it works. You plug it into Linux, it works. You plug it into Windows, it works. And you don't have to install any drivers. It just does its thing. You open up OBS, you take the video, you take the audio, the two separate things, you put them together, and it works. And there's no frame drops either. It's not like those stupid Easy Cap cards that cost like fucking $20 and they're shit. This one is actually legit. And it also has HDMI pass-through too, just like an Elgato. So it's kind of sad that for like half the price of an Elgato, a Chinese capture card is better. So I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat for this thing because I recommend it. I've been playing around with it tonight, and I highly recommend this product. And right now you can get 5% off if from this particular seller. So there it is. It's dropped in the chat, and you should consider buying one of these. It's really freaking good. There is one caveat with this card, and that is if your motherboard has third-party USB 3, a third-party USB 3 controller, this will not work properly, because the motherboard I have is an Asus P8Z68 Pro Gen 3, which is like a 8-year-old motherboard now, 9-year-old almost. And what ends up happening is when I plugged it into the USB 3 ports for the AS Media, at 1080p, it would drop sync,
Like
and it
the
would
base-
cause a green shit on
like the base.
probably.
Probably. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay. But on USB 2, it works. And the fucked up thing is, you can use this card on a USB 2 interface. And on Elgato, you need USB 3, or the capture software says, fuck you. You need USB 3. So yeah, definitely get this card. I highly recommend it. It works with
Wait,
OBS.
we're doing another TSS tech? Well, what are we recommending?
This Chinese USB capture card.
I clicked your link,
that's-
so I'm headed there now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is better. This is better than the Elgato.
Well, thanks for telling me that now.
I
would buy it had I didn't have it.
I legitimately did not know of this until last Monday.
Oh, okay. That's justified.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Overall, long story short, I would buy it had I not had the Elgato, but because I have the Elgato, what's the point in buying it? But in case if something happens in the future, I'll definitely give it a shot.
It's what Terrell says, it's future lock. So,
Exactly. And then we'll probably wait until it gets a cheaper price later in the future in case ours.
Yeah, I'm about to say by that time, if what TSS is saying is right, that means by that time, you'll already have a better capture by the time, regular captures become cheaper.
Yeah, the Elgato 2.
But like I said, the reason why I love this is because, like I said, I've had so many problems with the Elgato with the Mister, because in order to get constant audio from it, I have to run a 3.5 mil cable from my breakout box from my TV, my audio breakout box, to the Elgato. That's stupid.
I have an Elgato. The problem is that I have a laptop and not a computer. So it's like, yeah, you can work, but under these various conditions.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, it's like, it all depends on what you need. Like I said, the problem is the Elgato is very finicky with specific devices, with specific HDMI stuff. So yeah, get the blue one. The blue one is guaranteed to work. Yeah, the blue one is guaranteed to work. But yeah, it's kind of sad. And also, the Elgato HD60S doesn't work on Linux unless if you install some like janky third-party drivers. So yeah, it fucking works. I can't believe it. And I thought it was too good to be true, but it works. I can't say anything. Can't say anything else about it. Also, I've in other news, I've used a thing called Treat Stock, and I'm getting and I ordered a case for my Mister from a local 3D printer. The treatstock.com actually lists a lot of local 3D printers in your area, and you could submit plans through Thingiverse, and you can basically have stuff 3D printed by a third party. Like I paid like $22 for this case, and I'm going to be getting it soon. It's in production right now because obviously it takes a little while for the 3D printer to make your product. So kind of cool. So I'll also be taking pictures of the Mister case. It's a slim one. It's not the big one, because the bigger cases, they cost like $60 plus to make them. So and since I'm not getting like an IO board for it, I don't need a big case. I just need a case that will just enclose, be like an enclosure.
Right.
So overall, I give this like a 9.5 out of 10. This capture device. As soon as I figured
very
out,
high score.
yeah, as soon as I figured out that it was my third-party USB chipset on my motherboard, the USB 3, like I said, and I even went to my brother's house, so he has Intel USB 3 ports on his, and that worked fine too. So as long as you don't have third-party USB controller on your motherboard, this will work on USB 3, but it also works on USB 2. So there you go. The P-Do. Go and buy it.
Great commercial, TSS.
Also, the P-Do.
The P-Do. Go buy it.
Go buy it.
Please. I'm sorry I ask for this every time, but I really want...
Yeah. It's like the P-Do product, but it's like one of those quote reviews. Just buy it.
There's a quote that goes, "Go buy it," and then it's TSS at the bottom.
TSS killer.
Yeah, the P-Do.
Oh, good lord. And yes, as Rich Steinhead says, this has been the TSS Tech Review.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's so many things that on the TSS Tech Reviews that I need to fucking pick up. Like I need to pick up the retro tank, the fucking the one. What's the other thing? The
Game Boy thingy.
Yeah, I need to get that. I need to fucking buy that too. So I'm gonna probably when I get my money straight, I'm gonna have him link all that shit again.
Yeah. Who knows? I hope it does actually work
on
with
the
recording.
Switch. It works on the Switch just fine. It works on any game console up to 1080p. Remember, it's not a 4K card. It's not a 4K card. It's a 1080p card.
TSS is going to play a big role in a project I'm working on soon. So, thankfully,
and being conservative with money.
yeah. But yeah. So sorry I'm late, guys. By the way.
No, don't worry. This is our usual talk moments anyway, where we just talk about random things before we actually get into our main topics for the night. Also, this gave me a good opportunity to get screenshots for the episode anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually in the middle of doing that right now, because I was like, right, I downloaded everything and set everything else but the actual episode review.
So we got a bucket of news this week, don't we?
Oh, hell yeah. From E3 to Pokemon Directs to all these other announcements in between.
I know you're excited. The Mystery Dungeons is
back. Boy, like you wouldn't believe. Man, there's just way too much to get into it. But before we actually get into any topic, let's just quickly tackle the E3 situation at hand. Now, I don't know how much you guys have been paying attention to E3 these past couple of years. But recently, E3 has really gone through a bit of a
decline.
A massive decline. Thank you for the word, by the way. Needed that. A massive decline because during E3 of 2019, what happened was that apparently the site had left the information of a lot of the attendees that are going to be in the convention. And, like reporters, gamers, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, that information actually was available to the public. And the information that's in there contains the person's name, the address, their phone number, their email. And over 2,000 people, unfortunately, got doxxed because people managed to get into the site on time before it got eliminated and saved that information and pretty much spread it worldwide. And now those 2,000 people have been hearing complaints about like getting phone calls at 2 a.m. or some stuff like that, or even getting doxxed at their own place, man. And this was what led to a massive decline towards their overall thoughts on E3, and of course it didn't help any better when you learned that the folks at Sony were like, hey, we're not going to even be there at all last year. And they didn't show up. And guess what? This year, it's been confirmed yet again. Sony decided to not partake in the E3 presentation for this year. So, it's making fans believe that E3 is about to go through what may be a endpoint. As in,
I would say it sounds like it's going extinct.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's funny because 2018 was where E3 peaked for... Well, E3, And then, of course, 2019 happened, and apparently it was halved of what was originally there. So they made a massive leap up, but then made a drastic decline. And now it's looking to that point where E3 might potentially not even exist no more. It's like, why even bother with E3 when we could have our own presentations and handle it our own way without having to rely on this convention, you know?
Tradition and spectacle, probably. That's the only two reasons I can think of.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they're going in this approach, and I'm actually pretty excited about that because it's a good approach. I think this could be something really cool, and I hope it succeeds, man. I hope it's something that, you know, while E3 might be sad to see go, I hope that companies, like the big companies, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and all that, could create their own events to, you know, showcase their games that are going to be released throughout that year and of course the following, you know,
so
like what Sony does.
I think it's really good. I think it's really good.
It's basically going to become like Comdex, because people remember Comdex from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, and then just decided to die.
I think it's kind of drawing into like I don't know. It's kind of like you remember how we reached an era where Toonami, I know this may sound irrelevant at first, but I'm going to come back to it, trust me, where Toonami dropped off of Cartoon Network for a while. And during that time, however, so much stuff happened. We got streams, people were able to go online more, Kiss Anime, other websites, Verve, Crunchyroll, all of those anime websites came in. And you could buy animes via DVD at cons and stuff. Like, watching anime was such an easy thing years after Toonami left. And then Toonami came back. And when it came back, it had nowhere near the same amount of viewers because anime is just so easy access now. Nobody really cares if Toonami's back or not. I mean, yeah, it's back. That's good, I guess. But nobody cared. And that's kind of like what I think is happening with E3. E3 traditionally is supposed to get people into the world of video games. It's supposed to introduce people to new games. It's supposed to introduce like the world of video games, the culture of video games, game developers, game producers, designers, sound composers, all of those come into one roof. Yeah. But the problem is that we have so many online directs now, thanks to Nintendo. We have what's the PlayStation State of Play or something? We got the Nintendo Treehouse. What's really even the video game award stream? So really, what's really the point of E3?
The answer is just to present their games, but
just presentation. But we have a bunch
but now we have
but you get to go there and actually experience stuff.
No, but like the companies themselves, they could do it themselves. Like, be like, okay, we're gonna have a presentation at this theater, but like in the hall, we'll have these games on display for you to test out as well. But the thing is, it's only going to be exclusive for that brand. So say with what Sony's doing right now, the only thing you're going to see there is products that are going to be on the next PlayStation or coming to the PlayStation 4. Nothing of Microsoft, nothing of Nintendo, because it's only theirs.
We always get like a Treehouse or a State of Play or a Director or some form of stream to show us. At this point, like, other than like the spectacle and like a lot of people paying money to fly out there and, you know, pay for their tickets and everything, it might just be easier to do this, to take this new approach, to the online streaming approach. The internet, you got to remember, when E3 came out, the internet was very, very, very young, to the point where I think E3 wasn't even called E3. It was called like something else. It was Wizard something or Gaming something. It had a different name, I know that. But when that happened, though, the internet was so young, like, people were gathered there, and then they would send that information back to others and be like, yo, there's this new game. Yeah, Electronic Expo, thank you. They'd be like, yo, they're bringing this new game out next year. Or, oh, this got released, or I got a hands on the new Game Boy Color or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, at that point, it was so young that it was a spectacle to get everybody together. And plus, also, the gaming community was nowhere near as big. Now it's treated as a huge spectacle, but at this point, it's a lot easier to just get an online audience. And then that also stops them from running the risk of leaking information, horrible sound choreography from like other companies where we end up with like sound glitches and errors. Right.
That's the sound of 25 years of Sonic.
Or those moments where the people are on the mic, even though they didn't cut their mics off.
Oh, and you still hear them talking in the background?
Yeah, random shit like that. The horrible, like, the only risk we run now is like if the stream is to mess up, and even then, we got Twitch, we got YouTube, we got Daily Motion, we got several different, sites, and they can even probably. Knowing them, they could probably produce sites that can help out to make things better because they don't have to share it. Like Nintendo can easily do a streaming thing on their channel. They could, Sony can do the same. I know Microsoft can do it. So, yeah, I'm agreeing with KG on this one. It might be the end of an E3 era of tradition, but I think it might be a new era of online
entertainment, I guess.
Of online interaction, yeah. Because that's where it pretty much was gearing towards anyway.
Yeah, of course,
my thing is, if we're going that route, why can't there be more, like, open beta demos or alphas?
Right. Yeah,
you want to know why?
With that too.
Because people can fucking hack that shit and immediately rip out all the information, like what they did with many games when it came out. Hell, with the whole demo that came out for Final Fantasy VII that was supposed to come out around March, people got that shit early on and just pretty much hacked everything in that data. Collected everything inside there and even showing off the final boss of the game.
But knowing that, I think TSS has some merit here on this one as well, because what's stopping them from making a exclusively demo-only, like, setup to where it can't be, like, if you try to hack into it, the only... As far as you can get is pretty much, like, the demo itself. You can't... Or would that require too much?
The problem then is that you need to have competent coders.
Yeah.
And the problem is you don't.
Yeah,
if you look at, I remember reading back like pieces of code from Fallout 76 existed from Fallout 2 or whatever the hell it was. We're using freaking assets and code from like dozens of year-old game. It's like fucking. See, the problem is you have lazy and incompetent coders out there leaving shit, leaving debug symbols, leaving fucking assets. That's what the fuck happens. But the problem is that means that everybody will have to, if you want to get a polished demo with nothing in there, you have to scrub everything. You have to go through every single facet of the binary to scrub that fucking data. But the problem is a lot of companies don't want to do that because it takes so much time.
Yeah, it does. That sounds like it does.
It does. So, and of course, they people are human, right? And they make errors and they make mistakes, and that's what happens. Then you have shit leaking, and then you have this peeking. Not only just the hackers. Those are the people that like crack stuff. You have the people that still are on IRC on the freaking the XDCC things. I think XDCC is still a thing. They're basically like on underground IRC networks, and they're they freaking use like fucking like S tunnel and shit. They still try to get everything like underground. High lightning, I'm good. So yeah, but that's what it is. I think that's one of the main reasons we're not getting more demos, because people are smarter than whatever they hire to code the game.
Yeah, and that's a shame.
Yeah, it is, but that's the sad state of affairs for today, and people are overworked and they're not being paid a lot.
Nope. At the end of the day, nobody wins. Really, is what's going on.
Ash wins.
That was a great album song.
He won.
No, I said Ash wins. Only reason I say that is because I think recently the most recent episode dubbed, if anybody cares, is his champion episode.
Oh yeah, where everybody got pissed off over the line of how he changed. Did I win?
I decided to watch that clip, and him winning in the dub loses so much momentum.
Well, not only that, it's just like, why the fuck does it sound like a fucking rejected Paste Picante sauce commercial?
I think in the dub he just says like, "What just happened?" Or like,
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
"What happened?"
I mean, and I get it. I get it. He's starstruck, but I think it really, I don't know, the original version really brought it home.
You want to know why it worked well for me? It's because of the interaction that Gladian and Ash had with each other. Because it's still comedy wise, but it still works with the chemistry of the two characters.
Well, it's not even comedy. It's just it's more of, you know, it's like I won, and it's like, jeez, of course you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's something like, you know, a little minor, but that's what I view it though.
My theory on that is they didn't want Gladian coming off as an asshole, which it's fine, but that kind of can have like negative connotations, because you know you got to please the freaking anti-vaxxers and soccer moms that don't fucking like it's fucking
for me I get why they had the line where Ash says what just happened. It's literally like if you win something you didn't expect to win, you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, but you know what, that logic is out the window, because Kukli says he won. They won. He
when
won.
When Ash in the Japan version goes, did I win?
Did I just win? Like, did I just
win? He's fighting the believability, because it's raining from him losing so many times at this point.
Yeah.
Well, at least in this section of his life, where he always loses a league. Where
pretty much.
This really throws him off. So yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the original version, but I get why the line exists. I'm not gonna be losing sleep over it. I just know
I have no reason to lose sleep over it.
I just know that, like TSS said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And also, the series is, you know, considered to be one of the most controversial anyway for the dub, given everything that's been happening to the series.
Like I said, the Pace Picante music plays when there's no music in the fucking Japanese.
Oh yeah, they broke the silence a lot too.
I hate that.
I think that Lycan Raku's encounter on counter scene was supposed to be silent.
It was.
No. Yeah, it was. It completely was.
Okay.
But why the fuck do we need this dueling banjos, Pace Picante sauce shit? Like, I don't know. That for some reason, him, Goldfarb, and Faulkner, although I like Faulkner a lot more. He's the composer for Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, of course.
I like Faulkner's soundtrack, but him and Goldfarb have that weird problem where they just don't let silence be silence. Like, that's an old school way of thinking, especially in anime where silence can make for some really beautiful moments.
Yeah.
So I'm with you guys. I don't know exactly why they played the Pace Picante music you said?
Yeah, Pace Picante sauce.
Silence is a sound too. Indeed it is, buddy. Indeed it is. Meanwhile, as you guys were chit-chatting, I was actually putting up the acrylic stand I just received today in the mail just now.
Nice.
Oh, you finally got it?
Yeah, remember when I told you guys, I think about a month back, that I purchased...
did you give TSS's gift?
No, I've gotten nothing yet.
What?
Unless it was supposed to be what I think it is regarding a... Wait, you had it on Kevino, right?
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, okay. Nah, so... I have not received anything. I'll check up on that.
Check it.
Alright. You have to also let me know via the messenger, like, separately, just so I can figure out what it is.
I will.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, your acrylic.
Oh, yeah, the acrylic stand. So I mentioned a while back I bought a Pyra/Mithra acrylic that also came with, like, Numa and Cosmos. But they didn't have Mithra available on Anime NYC. They had to actually ship it from Japan over here to the US. So finally today, after months of waiting, it has
almost
finally arrived. It was 2 months actually.
Yeah,
I finally got it, and it looks absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to place this right next to Pyra. It's like a very big sized acrylic stand, first of all, so it looks really nice in detail. But man, I love it. I wish I could show it off. I'll probably post it on Twitter as we speak right now. Then soon after, I'll probably take that picture and then post it here. But man, it makes me happy to start getting more Xenoblade stuff anyway. Just mainly because As you guys know, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is going to be coming out later this year. So that's something super exciting to look forward to if you are a big fan of, the Xenoblade Chronicles series. Or even if you jumped into the second one and want to get into the first, there you go, Of both games now available on the Nintendo Switch. That is awesome, man. Now, I'm also just reading this as well as I'm trying to post this onto Twitter. Did you hear about what happened with Some Call Me Johnny?
What happened?
I know you know about him, right?
Yeah, I know of him.
Yeah, SGB, he officially said that it's coming to an end at this year.
What?
Yeah, Super Gaming Brothers is coming to an end this year.
Oh, he's ending Super Gaming Brothers? Why?
Yeah. He says there, we stood strong for about 10 years, but everyone's getting a little older, and we all have our own paths to take.
Damn.
So yeah, of course, age comes to be a thing,
He too old. He too old.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's graduated college, and I'm sure he's gonna be doing his original channel. He's gonna stick to his channel.
Yeah, he's gonna stick to his
and
reviews.
Obviously, he's still gonna be with Brain Scratch. And then you got Elliot, who's Elliot's growing older. He's becoming.
Isn't he married actually?
Yeah, I would say I think Elliot was a kid when this all started.
Yeah, and he's married already at this point.
Very young when Super Gamer Brothers started, and then obviously you got their other brother who comes in and out. Then you got Johnny's friend. I can't remember his name.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Thank you. You got Matt. Obviously, he's probably doing his own thing. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, out of all of his content, I think between his channel, Brain Scratch, and Gamer Brothers, I could see the momentum slowing down with Gamer Brothers.
Nah, but it's just more like it's like, hey, look, we've done this for 10 years. Everybody has their own things to do. It's time to call it wraps. And you know what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How things are, man.
Yeah, time was passing, and I could see time passing on that channel specifically. So
yeah, because they always meet up in person, so it's not exactly easy to consistently do that for a channel that goes on and on for so long, man.
Yeah, at least with Brain Scratch comms, they're doing kind of like what we're doing, like the
everybody in their own respective places. We all record, etc. But it's understandable. At some point, everybody has to come to an end. But at least I'm happy that it's on good terms. That's something that I think a lot of people need to understand. It's always important that it always ends on good terms. That
being said, the PokePod is with y'all forever. We ain't going nowhere unless I become rich.
Yeah, unless he becomes a millionaire or I become a millionaire.
Actually, no. If anything, me being a millionaire would push it more because then I could throw more money at it.
Listen, we're gonna buy a studio. We're gonna fucking be
of
there.
Course, yeah.
We're gonna become the next Twit.
Right, I'm gonna fly you guys out to fucking
private jets
move out to Petaluma. No,
y'all stuck with us for quite a while.
Literally, we have these things attached to your arms. Right?
Yeah, we're not going nowhere. But I want to say actually, I know this is Brain Scratch and not Super Gamer Brothers I'm about to talk about, but I actually have Brain Scratch to thank because I always, when I saw them, I was like, I really want a group kind of like that. Then years later, I'm like, oh shit, I got a group like that. Holy shit, I got him.
Got him. And I hope one day we can continue to grow all together here, man. It would be great. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy our content throughout the coming years, man. We're not stopping anytime soon, but of course, because content still consistently moves forward as well. And we love to continue to move forward.
And we're getting old.
With them. Hey, we're getting old, but we're not losing our touch. Unless we are.
Okay.
Y'all getting old. Drinks from the fountain of youth.
Fuck you. Where's my fountain of youth?
Fucking oldies.
Yeah, so.
But, nah.
Man,
so what's our next thing?
All right, so now that we got all the sappy stuff aside and whatnot, you guys ready to go and take some time to talk about a couple of things that have been announced throughout this week? Of course, we got E3 out of the way, we got gaming stuff out of the way, Tech Talk has finally happened. Let's go and start talking about the Pokemon Direct and let's break it down bit by bit. What do you say, guys?
Let's do it.
Alrighty then. So, which one shall we begin with is the real question.
We'll start with Ishihara's face.
Oh, hell.
Okay.
No. Oh, hell no.
It's brought to you by Shadow Raid Legends.
This stream is brought to you by Shadow Raid Legends. Alright. Just because I know this one's going to be a lot smaller, I'm probably gonna make this one be the first one to talk about. I think it'd be best to talk about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon
Yeah,
first.
I'm about to say we missed out on. We had a discussion about this on Terrell's channel, but you are the sole like voice of this topic.
Yeah, I normally am the one to talk about this one the most because I've
because
grown to love.
Because thanks to Altice, KG couldn't do a fucking stream.
Yeah, man, don't you love it when shit don't go your way?
Wait, what happened with the
France?
Nah, just the internet was being the dum-dums.
Yeah, Altice
yeah.
owns Optimum. Now. It's a French company. A French company bought out Optimum from the Dolan family.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so here we go, folks.
Thank you, France.
Let's
We
take
can have
this
you breathe.
opportunity to go
Thank
and
you.
talk a little bit
Breathe.
about the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game that is going to be coming out to the Nintendo Switch later this year. In fact, very, very soon, surprisingly. It's actually coming out on March, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because...
I like the fact that they acknowledge fucking Shock Pikachu.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
He's literally a meme. Like when you thought they weren't gonna do any Mystery Dungeon things, does Mystery Dungeon thing.
But dude, I am so excited for this, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to play this game later
I'll
this
probably
year.
pick this one up in Japan.
Come again?
Really?
I'll probably pick this
He's
one up
getting
in
the Japan version.
Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna probably go into like Big Camera and buy a physical copy.
now, from what memory is trying to tell me, back in the day, I had a copy of Emerald, and then some point I lost my copy of Emerald somewhere in my house, but I was like, I don't even feel like bothering to look for it. I'm gonna just tell Mother to buy me another copy of Emerald, and I'll just figure out what to do with that, and then maybe I'll find my other one sometime later down the road. So, I think this was around the time when I learned about the Emerald glitch. Where you can, like, duplicate Pokemon via the PC thing. So, I was thinking of doing that and then transferring those Pokemon over to the 4th generation games. I think it was Platinum, actually. And what went down was that I went to go and look for a copy of Emerald. Of course, given that it was like, 2007, 2008 at the time Emerald came out, I think it was.
What?
When was Emerald? Not Emerald, I'm sorry. I said Platinum, I'm sorry. I meant to say
Platinum came out. Yeah, Platinum came out in the West in 09.
09, okay, so it was far late, yeah. So, I remember trying to look for it. Of course, it was already many years after the GBAs had pretty much gone non-existent. If you're lucky to find it in GameStop, good for you. But I tried looking for it. They didn't have a copy, but I did see something else that piqued my interest. To the side, I found that they were selling a brand new copy of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the GBA version, the Red Rescue Team. So, I decided to be like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go and pick up this instead. I mean, we're here, might as well get this. Although I had to do some persuading with my mother, because she's like, I'm pretty confident you asked for another thing. No, and I'll be like, oh, no, I meant this, actually, not the other thing. And got back home, found my copy of Emerald, so that was really good. And got me this game, and I played through it, and dude, this game, this series is like the defining thing that I love about Pokemon, man. When you can take the Pokemon experience to a brand new direction and create something new, unique, and refreshing, and it absolutely captures all of that beautifully. And since then, I've become a massive fan of Mystery Dungeon. I've loved the originals. I love the DS games, of course, Explorers of Time, Darkness, and of course the remake of it, or the re-release, I should say, of it, Explorers of Sky, which added some additional content to it. Mm-hmm. Then we move on into the 3DS era. We got the Mystery Dungeon games for the 3DS, being of Gates to Infinity, and then Super Mystery Dungeon, which was the recent game from this franchise, and honestly, a step in the right direction for the series as a whole. Now, years later, it has been silent. We heard nothing about it. Fans have been wondering what this series is going to go to next, or is it just going to be suffering the same fate as what happened to poor Mario and Luigi, where the company that's responsible for making these titles is now completely bankrupt and pretty much non-existent no more. So a lot of people were very concerned about it. Jump into, January 2020, Direct gets announced. I'm excited, not really, because of course Pokemon Directs never tend to usually do a lot of things with them. They usually tend to announce a lot of mobile platforms and whatnot. And that's
Pokemon
really
Sleep.
Yeah, exactly. People were expecting to see Pokemon Sleep for 20 minutes, and that was it. And because that's been the direction of what Pokemon's been handling their stuff lately. So.
It's the game developers just sleep on the disc.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm kind of like curious to see what they're gonna do here. Of course, my like level of hypeness for the Pokemon Direct from a scale of 1 to 10 was a 0, because I always usually expect disappointment from Pokemon, especially during the 3DS movement that we got moving forward. So this came to a surprise to me when the first thing they announced from this Direct was a remake of the original games from 15 years ago. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX, or Rescue Team DX. First of all, the art style in this game looks absolutely phenomenal, man. If there's anything I have to praise them for, it is amazing that they replicated the illustration designs and implemented that to the actual core visuals of the game itself by making this like artistic kind of what's the way to say it? Like a book.
I just like the heavy ink. Yeah, I like the heavy ink.
Yeah, it looks like as if it's ripped out of a paint book or something like that.
I don't know why, but part of me wants Pikachu to come to the Mystery Dungeon world and look at all the Pokemon and go, "This isn't my world. I'm more heavily inked than you."
Back in my day, everything was all pixels.
No, just the nod from Fairly Odd Parents when Crimson Chin came to the real world.
Oh man, that's an old school reference right there.
I'm more heavily inked than you guys.
I find it interesting that they were able to spin off Mystery Dungeon as a series into the Pokemon realm and it be pretty popular. Meanwhile, when they try to do Nobunaga no Yabo or Nobunaga's
I loved
Ambition,
Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah, I mean that
bring it back, you fucking cowards.
I mean, I would have liked to see like Tactical Strategy, another one like that.
It was so good. I loved it, but I realized Mystery Dungeon has lasting power in the world of Pokemon spin-off games. Like out of all the spin-off games, Mystery Dungeon's the one that kept coming back. So I kind of expected this.
Yeah, but it's just like, since we haven't heard anything from Mystery Dungeon, and of course the 3DS is completely dead now since the movement to the Switch. Many fans weren't thinking that the game would actually transition properly to this console. And, many fans were thinking, oh, maybe it's just over. Maybe it's just going to be completely gone. But no.
Because it ended on a somewhat sour note with the last game.
No, it ended on a positive note. Super Mystery Dungeon is a step in the... Yeah. Okay, Gates to Infinity
it was the one before it.
Yeah,
okay, that's the one. All right,
Gates to Infinity was the shit one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but the step... moving forward, Super Mystery Dungeon was a step in the right direction. One of the best stories from Mystery Dungeon not the best story, I would say the second best story. I still believe
one of the best.
Yeah, but they all are super solid. Even Gates to Infinity, I wouldn't say it's horrible. It's still good. It's just that the things surrounding it is what held it back, honestly. But the storytelling in these games are some of the most memorable, fond, emotional experiences I've had with Pokemon. I think these games do a much better job in crafting a story than a lot of other games attempt to do. And it's great because it's Pokemon. It's with creatures you love so very much, An
unpopular opinion, I actually enjoyed the Scramble or the Rumble series.
Now, okay, you're talking about the Pokemon, those weird looking like toy
ones. Yeah.
Also,
I actually enjoyed that series, not the mobile one, but the one on the Wii and also the one on the 3DS.
Yeah, they were fun from what I remember playing. I just didn't really do much with it.
Not really on the World one, but yeah, not really the World one where it was the paid one, but the one before it. The one
on the 3DS, it was like that.
The one that was full price on the 3DS.
It was Rumble, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
Rumble
that was Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like Rumble Super or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, so with that being
I
said,
want
I really hope this game sells well, man.
Goggle Master says he misses Ranger. I do too.
What's Ranger again? All I remember is Mystery Dungeon, Dash, Troze.
You remember Dash, but you don't remember Ranger? What the fuck is
It's because I have the copy right next to me.
The biggest thing about Ranger was that you had to have use the stylus gimmick, and I'll tell you this much: you could go into a GameStop or something, and you could tell which of the DSs were people had Ranger because they would dig into the fucking plastic, and you would see like indentations.
It's crazy, but yeah, so it's like...
Oh, guys, by the way, KG is one of the 3 people that owns fucking Pokemon Dash. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hell yeah, I got a rare
The funny thing is, I almost bought it at hard off.
Because even TSS looked at it and went,
listen, man, I bought some of the best DS.
It was like $5. It was like $5, and I was like, no.
Listen, man, I bought some of the best DS games you could possibly think of. I bought Dash.
And then he bought Pokemon Dash.
Yeah, I bought Dash. I bought Yoshi Touch and Go. Clearly best Yoshi game. Metroid.
Pokemon Hyphen. Good job, TSS. Where's Pokemon Semicolon?
Oh no, we don't talk about that one.
Pokemon Slash.
Right. But oh my god. So going back to the Mystery Dungeon series, do you think this was a good route for them to instead of making a completely new mystery? Instead of making a completely new Mystery Dungeon game, they're more or less basing this one off the first ones?
Yes, here's my reason why. Because this gives them a stepping stone to like figure out where they want to move forward with this franchise if it succeeds in selling properly, you know?
Yeah, and I can see here they're also making it so Mega Evolution. So we actually get to see Mega Evolution Pokemon again. So I think that's a good way to utilize like an old gimmick that Pokemon had, because I thought Mega Evolution was going to be done. But they're using it. They're using it for... I noticed they make a lot of appearances in spin-off games because they're in Pokemon Shuffle too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah, the Mega Evolution are used in Shuffle Mystery Dungeons now. I mean, I think this is a really good approach to the Mega Evolution stuff, because that's, like you said before, way back, KG, those are models. Those are still Pokemon models. They can't really just throw them away. So they got to do something with them.
And I think this was a really smart move, man. Yeah. Like, now, just kind of going further into my explanation, you know, first of all, they're experimenting with this franchise right now. You could tell that they're trying to figure out their new direction, because this game right here clearly is defining that. First of all, it's taking a lot of the elements from the illustrations that came along with this title and decided to use that illustration to create the world itself and make everything look like a storybook. You know, of course, there's that. And then, of course, taking a game that's already 15 years old, remaking it from the ground up for newer audiences who never got a chance to experience these titles because they were never available anywhere else unless you had the original back on the GBA. So this is really good. This could be for some a nostalgic journey, for others a brand new complete experience. And I can easily say right now, this game still till this day, amongst other Mystery Dungeon titles, stand on its own for being a well-crafted first beginning adventure for the Mystery franchise. And I am looking forward to this game a lot more, just because it's great to see that this game is taking the elements that were scrapped from the main games and implementing them to the side stories now, as a way to say, no, they're not gone. They're just going to be transported to a different series now.
Yeah.
That being Mega Evolutions. It looks like Megas are probably going to be the key thing for this saga, although I would not be surprised if we maybe see Z-moves also be included in some way, shape, or form as well for this. I don't know how Z-moves are going to work.
I think that might be too much. I don't think we
too
need
much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want to start simple. You don't want to go too complex.
The Mega Evolutions were fine because they're still like part of the Pokemon's anatomy. Z-moves, that's...
You need somebody, I think, to do Z-moves, don't you?
Yeah,
like you can't technically do Z-moves by yourself. You need to have somebody to cooperate with.
Yeah, and technically you need a trainer for Evolutions too, but at least Mega Evolutions has the argument that it's part of the Pokemon's anatomy. Like, if anything, they're just digging into their hidden power.
Yeah. So
Z moves are more or less like a crystal that everybody can utilize.
Yeah.
yeah, so the only reason why I say that is because Mystery Dungeon has kind of done stuff like this before, where they had, like, in Super Mystery Dungeon, like, this super combo attack that you could do with all your Pokemon, where they surround together on one Pokemon and do their special attacks, although it drains a lot of your hunger. So it's like one of those risk and rewards kind of achievements there. And yeah, there's just a lot of great things about this game. I will say there is just one sad thing about this game that I think not many fans will love.
Wow.
There could be a lot of going back and forth with a lot of maps, because in order for you to progress in this game, of course, you have to create a name for yourself. You have to make yourself be known out there to the world, and in order for you to do that, you have to complete quests and missions as the story progresses on. Even some points where you have to complete like maybe 10 or 20 just to get to a ranking, because they do have rankings in this game. So say like there's a rank F, you have to move into a rank E or a rank D to actually unlock the next chapter and move forward from there. You know,
Makes sense.
You know,
Well, do you think that this game is gonna follow everything to a T, or is it going to like take some courtesy steps for new players?
You know what I think is going to no, they're already doing that, because the demo is out and you can clearly tell from there that they're making some quality of life choices with this title that is going to streamline it and make it much more
it's making me
suited.
actually want me to play like the first Red Rescue Team.
Well,
like
now
play
you
the
can
game,
with
play the original.
Mystery Dungeon DX right here coming soon. You
No,
know?
I mean, I
he's saying
wanna
like he wants to play the original version.
Yeah, you want to see where it all began.
Yeah, see the 2006 version and see it from its roots.
Well,
Me
plus, hey, I
personally-
have the Mister. I could just drop it in and
Yeah, like, because
some
I realized in 2006 that was still during the era in which, like, in most video games,
Oh, stream
people internet was young and people wanted to like, games were at a point in their time where they had to figure them out. They you still had to figure things out because they needed the games to last.
Yeah,
Because
they needed to find a way to make them stand out amongst all these other games.
They need to find a way to. I wouldn't say necessarily padding, but they need to find a way to make the game, feel like it was worth the time and money spent buying it. And the way to do that was for you to backtrack a lot of times to go to older places so that you could progress through the game.
Yeah.
Whereas here, unfortunately, the attention span of our newer demographic is relatively
If I don't
short.
move forward, why do I want to, play this game?
And I don't like when they do this, but kids nowadays aren't going to stick around for a long haul game like that. Now, granted, we shouldn't just be catering to kids. We should be catering to everyone, but that's another issue for another day.
Well, this game seems to be doing that.
4
because
letters,
as someone-
ADHD. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was going to say is that this game is doing some things like an auto explore mode as that's an option available. So that's interesting to see. I'm curious to see how that actually plays out because I never actually tested it yet.
The problem I have with auto explore mode though is that doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose?
No, because see, there are moments where you want to like say do a lot of missions, but it's on a old map that you're already over leveled at. So you don't really need to play it. You just want to breeze through it, but you don't want to waste your time. Do something else
so
while
if
that's happening.
anything, it's kind of like how Sword and Shield handled its level grinding situation. Because level grinding doesn't necessarily mean the game is harder or more challenging. It was just tedious. So if anything, you're saying that these new improvements are decreasing the tedium.
Also, somebody said auto explore stops when facing a Pokemon. You can't be serious with that one, really?
Oh my god!
If that's the case, oof, never mind. Oof. Yeah, you
What do you think? This is fucking Dragalia Lost? Like,
yes, because the Gallios can do that shit. A mobile game can do this. You're telling me Pokemon can't?
Well, yeah. But overall, minus the encounter aside, you're saying that Mystery Dungeons is taking a step to decrease the tedium of it, not to decrease the difficulty.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, I can deal with that.
Also, the game has X-ray specs on permanently. Really now? That I did not know.
Okay.
Once again, I haven't really dabbled that much on the Mystery Dungeon game as of this moment. I got it downloaded on my Switch Lite. I just never got a chance to play it yet. And hopefully I can get a chance to play with it eventually. Maybe even try to stream it as well. It's not that long. It's like an hour long at least, the demo. So I would love to just give it a shot and, share my thoughts on this new direction that they got. Or maybe just save it completely until the game releases later in the year. Not too far off, just 2 months away. And I think that's a really smart move by Pokemon for holding on to this title until 2 months from now. That this
and
game
they
can
know
come
it's
out.
not going to mess with Sword and Shield sales because 1, it's a spinoff, and 2, 3 months would have. Well, actually, hold up, no.
Also,
November, December,
the first
January,
DLC,
February, March. 4 months would have passed. That's fine.
And also, the DLC is at summertime. So if you want something to pass, the time with, Mystery Dungeon's right there available for you. And that's really good on their part. So once again, good job by the Pokemon Company for being a little strategic with this one by making sure you keep the title in secret until you are really close by, because once again, this is a remake. This isn't a complete brand new game. It's taking a lot of elements from all past titles and refining a lot of the things that made this game be what it is. And the only thing I ask for from this title is if we can get a additional storyline that wasn't in the original.
I'm just kidding.
Now, from what I'm seeing here, I'm assuming we're gonna get it, because they have to, they have to talk about Mega Evolutions. That was never a part of the main core storyline. And there's, of course, the Mega Fug. So we need to figure out how they're going to handle that guy in the story as well. I hope you guys know who I'm talking about when I say Mega Fug. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they intend to put all of it together. And,
Famous Ray's Pizza.
Right. We'll find out soon
Jesus
enough, man.
Christ.
But if there's anything I could say I'm excited for, dude, the music. Oh my god, the music's gonna be good. From hearing the songs already, it sounds like they've taken the songs and just completely just tweaked it up. They didn't change anything. They didn't tweak anything. It's more like just taking the GBA audio and making it sound like as if it wasn't from GBA and it's actually its original source, because a lot of the music that tends to be created for the GBA tends to get compressed to fit into the GBA sound font. But now it's okay, we have the original OST songs, let's just not do that and just bring it to life in the Nintendo Switch. So,
well, then again, though, you have to remember that I think the GBA only has one PCM channel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it has a total of six audio channels. So those are still sequenced music. Not samples.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they intend to do for this one, but only time will tell until that moment arrives, of course, and it's not going to be that far off into the future, man. So excited for this. As a Mystery Dungeon fan, I implore you, please give this a chance. I hope it's not going to be $60. I think it's $60, isn't it, right? Is this $60?
It's probably gonna be $60.
Yeah, I would think it might be at best 50. If it's 60, it is 60. Okay, I guess if I already paid for Sword and Shield for $60, I might as well pay this for $60.
Well, I feel
I'll get more bank out of my buck in this game than I will with Sword and Shield, because as of right now, where the hell is the storyline, man? I haven't even experienced anything. I've just been growing across the lines. And I haven't even seen any story elements outside of just the character interactions, man. Where's my story?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything because tomorrow you're playing the game, but
I'm curious to see if there is gonna be other story elements in the next part.
But just ending my thoughts on Mystery Dungeons, because
go right ahead.
I said most of what I needed to say during Terrell's video, but it still carries on the same here. I'm glad Mystery Dungeon made a comeback. I'm glad they see that they're actually paying attention to, the spin-off stuff. If it's gonna be $60, like I keep seeing everyone type in here, I do agree with you. I hope they add some stuff to it to justify that price. And considering that they took the effort to make a remake of the Mystery Dungeon series after I don't know how long the last one was. That does prove that there's a level of care that's been put into this game.
Yeah, it shows, man. But I'm curious, did they ever talk about the developer who's working on this title?
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's gonna add some extra story elements to give you more bang for your buck.
Spike Chunsoft.
Yeah, we know Spike is supposed to be the ones responsible with this with the originals, but they haven't said anything. They've been quiet, It is the same team.
Hey,
okay, so.
They're just getting to work. They're just doing their job.
Yeah, I would just think that they would tweet about it just to let more people know that, hey, we're making a new game for
Hey, you want to talk about this game? I'm just doing my job.
Oh well, we'll probably get more info as time passes on. So I'm in no need to rush, only because it's coming out 2 months from now. And it's
I'm glad. I think in Gen 7 and probably a little bit in Gen 6, we were kind of dry on spin-off games for real.
Oh hell yeah! Last year we were talking about wanting to see a lot of spin-offs during the E3 presentations, and look what happened.
Yeah, we in Gen 7 and Gen 6 we got spin-off games, but they were mostly more. So here we're getting more spin-offs, so that's good. I mean, we got Go, we got Masters, we got Mystery Dungeons. We're pretty set now.
Yeah. So that's gonna be it for our Mystery Dungeon little ramble. Let us now go and talk about the next thing that was in this direct, because there were really only 2 major things that happened. Now I know there was another topic that was included, but I feel like that could just be brought up in this discussion. That being, of course, the Pokemon Sword expansion pass and the Pokemon Shield expansion pass. Something completely brand new and something a lot of fans have been really
Armor
wanting to
and
see.
Pokemon Crown.
Which turns out to be the case, because I think they tweeted about something about like how it's being, the design wise anyway, for these new locations are based on real life locations in Europe actually. I forgot what it was in particular. So what do you say?
One of them Scotland.
Yeah, what do you say we go and take this time to go and talk about it then? Why don't we? Because I know you guys had a
FPS Pokeball. Let's go.
All right then. So this is what I've been wanting to see Pokemon do for a very long time, and I feel like they couldn't capture this because of the hardware that they were in at the time. But now that we're here, this is a step in the right direction for the Pokemon franchise, man. I absolutely love what they did here. First of all, my favorite thing about this announcement was that they showed off not just one part of the expansion path, but both of them. They
did that probably as a fail-safe, because if we had gotten Pokemon Armor's DLC, they would have hacked it and been like, Pokemon fucking...
No. You like here's the thing. Now let me tell you something. $30, right? $30 for expansion pass. Let's say in this direct, all you saw was just the Isle of Armor, and they didn't talk about the other one, the Crowns. Yeah, they didn't talk about the Crowns Tundra or nothing. Imagine if that was the only thing you saw, and it was only going to be for $30, and it was like, you know, not.
People would have been dissatisfied.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let's just try to handle it a little bit better by showing off both elements, showing off concept art of what is to come. And make sure that fans will know what they're going to get themselves into and know what they're going to spend their money on. Because if they had shown absolutely nothing, I feel like it would have thrown a lot of people off. And I think that the DLC that they're doing right now is great. The updates that they're going to be handling for this game is also great as well, because it did confirm that you do not, and I repeat this, you do not need to own the expansion pass to play these certain raid battles that are going to be exclusive to the Isle of Armor.
The Pokemon don't cost money.
And the best thing, for those who don't want to spend $30 and say somebody else did, let's say you find a raid battle in the Isle of Armor, people who don't have the expansion pass can still join in that raid battle.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're missing anything. You can still.
So you're getting part of the DLC without even having to pay for the damn thing.
Exactly. The only thing you're not getting is the exploration bit and story elements, because
you're not getting the extra story and stuff.
Yeah, and which is really the only thing, because the Pokemon in the games you could easily trade. So let's say that weird the what was it, Cubfu or whatnot. You could trade that to your friend who don't have the copy of the game, or the DLC I should say, and then trade that Pokemon back. Then of course when it evolves into Urshifu, trade it to them, and then trade back, and boom, part of the dex is complete right there, you know. So it's not like you're missing anything. You're still gaining certain things. Hell, you see those legendaries right there? You could still get those legendaries even if you don't have it.
You don't even have to get the DLC. You can get literally all the rewards.
Yeah, and literally, as somebody said, if you want, you don't really need to get it at all, because guess what? Pokemon Home is a thing, and based on what we're hearing right now, it's just only like 4 new Pokemon, and everything else is old Pokemon coming back. And if you have Pokemon Home, you could just transfer them right on into the Switch perfectly fine with just a payment of $5, I would assume.
And the reason we're stressing this so much is because there have been so many tweets of people going, so Game Freak's making people buy the rest of the Pokemon. That is not true. That is a false statement. You are not buying 200 Pokemon. You are buying the exploration of going through the Islands of Armor and the Tundras of Crown. So
Yes.
those wild areas, exclusive areas, will only be accessible to those who get the DLC. So you're losing out on less ground that you can cover if you don't buy the DLC. But what you're also missing out on if you don't get that is the story. Obviously, the parts of the story that go through the armor and crown stuff. And then you're missing out on exclusive like clothes and items and stuff like that. But you're not missing out on the Pokemon. The Pokemon will still be available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just missing out on cosmetic features. You're missing out on
I don't want to hear
features.
these keep saying you have to pay $30 to get the rest of the Pokemon. That's a false statement.
Also, another cool thing as well that I'm very happy about this, this DLC thing, no more third versions. We have scrapped that completely now.
I think
more emeralds.
Game Freak has finally come to 2015.
I think essentially these were going to be the third version, Pokemon Armor and Pokemon Crown. That's why I keep calling them that, because that's what they would have been if we had continued.
And they even specify that it is something similar, but like handled differently, of course, in the form of an expansion
It's
pass.
what they should have done with Pokemon Ultra Sun
and of course the other thing is you get to continue your game.
Yeah, the Pokemon you earned in your travels will carry over into the new adventures. The only thing you won't be able to is just, I don't know, nothing. Yeah, everything is going to be there for you. Everything's going to be updated for you. Everything is going to be there for fans who purchase the expansion pass and for those via the raid battles, trading, and all these other things that you might not get.
And hey, for the people out there that are fucking complaining, people pay $125 or $130 for fucking Call of Duty and all of its fucking expansion packs. You basically get nothing out of that.
If Pokemon Sun and Moon were to have done this back in the 3DS era, this probably would have been called like the Trials of Light or something. Would have been
the
a
Trials
story
of Life or the Trials of Death.
The Trials of
No.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. If Pokemon Sun and Moon did this, instead of doing that stupid ass fucking Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon thing, it probably would have been called the Trials of Light. You would have been able to fight all the trial captains with their Pokemon souped up in levels. You would have been able to do an exclusive story that involves Necrozma, and you would have been able to do the Team Rocket, Rainbow Rocket Foundation plot.
The Rainbow Trail, we'll call it.
Yeah, that stuff. So I feel like that's what would have happened, and then you would have gotten exclusive Pokemon instead of doing what they did. Like essentially, this is Game Freak listening and finally doing what they're supposed to do rather than give us a whole new game. Because you can even look at the.
I would say no. To counter that, I would say the problem is when they designed the 3DS engines, they did not design it to add DLC to the game.
That's
what you get is what you get, right?
Because it's not because you compare that to like Level 5. Level 5 did that with the Yokai Watch game, starting with the second game, and that came out in 2014 in Japan. But they had already decided to go all in with DLC packs, and plus those were free. Then again, I mean that's free updates and whatnot. But I think though that Game Freak didn't have the I guess it didn't design the engine to be patched in a way where it adds extra content, only to patch the bugs.
The weird part is, because I know, and way back in Pokemon X and Y, I know hackers got in and they were able to discover Mega Latios, Volcanion, and Hoopa before we got Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So that was already busted wide open because of that. So I guess they were supposed to be not DLC, but they were supposed to be like event Pokemon.
Yeah.
But we unfortunately ended up getting them revealed so early because of that.
But
And
this is where they could hide their content finally.
Yeah, they can finally do that now. They can afford to do that. So yeah, like TSS said, welcome to modern gaming, Pokemon.
Yeah, finally.
Welcome
it took
to gaming
you to the
5
new
years
decade
ago.
to finally get into it. But man, I'm still glad that even if it happened late, I'm just glad that they're doing it instead of having to make us pay $60 for a reimagining or retelling of a game with additional side content that could be, half
Yeah,
the
it means
price.
you have to play through the whole fucking game all over again.
Yeah, with some cosmetic changes and whatnot, and that's really it. But here,
And
it's
to be
you can
fair,
do
it's like
whatever.
we didn't even go through one championship without even fucking using this game. It's like, what the fuck,
Yeah, so I'm just glad that we're getting the good end of this game for the franchise as a whole, because this is good. This is a right step. Now, of course, there are still complaints people have. Of course, reasonable complaints that people have with the game regarding certain things and features that are excluded and whatnot. And it's completely understandable, And hopefully, in future installments, if DLC is going to continue to be a thing for future games, they can learn from what they've experienced with this upcoming event with the Isle of Armor and the Crown's Tundra, and expand upon it.
Well, and people that are comparing the Game Freak to EA shit, also they haven't realized that that Game Freak isn't gonna pull a fucking EA, especially DICE back in the day, with Battlefield Bad Company 2, which came out 10 years ago, where in order to update the game, you had to download the whole fucking game over and install on top of it. And back then, that was like 5 gigabytes. It was back when people had like metered connections.
Right.
So to think that, people think that Game Freak is incompetent. Look at what fucking EA's teams did back in like 10 years ago.
Also, here's another thing
breaking
too.
the fucking games too.
These Pokemon, these new locations, they're not locked in the game cartridge or anything. These are made completely brand new, fresh off the press and whatnot for you to try out and experience.
The content will live on the SD card. It doesn't live on the
actual cartridge itself, unless they make, as I remember Tyrone mentioned, the Game of the Year edition where they do something like that. Or maybe not. They probably won't call it a Game of the Year edition, but they'll probably call it the Complete Edition or something like that.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get that for a long.
Or it's gonna be Pokemon Sword Expanded, Pokemon Shield Expand.
Right.
Expands.
But that's kind of
Pokemon Mega Sword and Pokemon Mega Shield.
Yeah, but but the problem with that is that's a cop out and people will not do that.
No. You gotta understand that this is also something good too, because the Switch gigabyte wise isn't really strong, man. So unless you want to fork over a lot of money to get like 128 gigs.
120 gig card is like $22.
Remember, we're talking about kids here, man.
$27. People can do that.
I know, but kids can't.
You could buy a 256 or a 512 card for less than $60.
No, but you gotta also remember for like the kids, like the 8-year-olds who don't know much, and of course the parents who don't know much about technology and just want to simply buy a game for their little ones.
The people nowadays know how to put an SD card into a system.
Yeah, but you gotta remember we're in America, man, and not everybody's smart. I mean, look at Florida. Every day there's always something new happening there. That's why we call it Florida Man.
Florida Man has entered the battle.
Exactly. Florida Man always makes sure to remember me that, not everybody's so smart in this world. Or not everybody's so reliant on technology. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, if they do an expansion, like, complete package version, I think this would be good. Only because, first of all the expanded stuff will be saved in the cartridge itself. And of course, you don't have to worry about it no more with your kids. They could experience the whole game then and there with their cartridge and not have to rely on using storage data for the DLC stuff. But that's just what I'm assuming is going to be what they do. I don't know. Maybe not. Only time will tell. But for now, where we stand with this title, with what they've shown off, job well done to the staff right here. It makes me so happy they didn't say anything throughout these past few months since the game has launched, and made sure to keep themselves silent until this came out then.
Hey, Sword and Shield been doing that the whole time, though. They've been keeping hush-hush about most of their content the whole time, and that's one of the reasons I love them.
Yeah, they made sure to focus on what they had with them now, and knew when they needed to announce things when it needed to be announced. And they made
Right.
sure that these new content that you're witnessing here are content that are not available in the game as of this moment, and rather something
Also,
you will get to
Pokemon
experience
Gun
later
is
down
real.
the road.
Oh yeah, Inteleon.
Yeah.
Take the shot.
I love how somebody told me that if you take a closer look at the gun, it looks like the stylus stick from the DS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh god, it is.
Take the shot.
It's just funny because you see Stobble as like the iconic crybaby of the group, and now it's wielding a gun. Let that tell you something.
Yeah, some people are actually getting real weirded out about like, oh god, be careful, make fun of in high school.
Yeah. He's gonna be a fucking.
Or they're making the meme where it's like when Froakie, not Froakie, when Sobble becomes the school shooter.
Damn, I wasn't expecting that. I did love this one image where it's like they had like this reticle icon show on Chairman Rose, and then the second picture was the Italian with the sniper.
My favorite one is the Gigantamax Inteleon and fucking Kermit with a fucking AK.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking M16.
And then of course somebody edited it to look like Inteleon with the gun too.
Yeah.
Fucking M16.
Dude, I love Kermit so much, man. Like, why is Kermit like that one character out of all of the Muppets that can actually come out to be the meme man, you know?
Die, motherfucker. Because his facial expression. Die, motherfucker, die.
Bang, bang, bang. Man, but yeah, so overall, very happy with this DLC pass. I think this is going to be a step in the right direction. No new game coming out this year. It is mainly focusing on Sword and Shield, which is important. As you mentioned, Tyrone, they need to keep focus on just this title because, you know, if we're going to focus on making VGCs a thing and whatnot, let them just focus on one game instead of having to make a shift every single goddamn year. Because nobody can ever get their things done because the next game is going to include new elements that now are going to need to be expanded upon, and it's going to be like a hassle basically.
And that should help Pokemon Sword and Shield sales even more because, you know, there's more reason to buy it now because there'll be more stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, and also once again, as people in the chat say, more time for the next games. They don't have to worry about making like 3 separate games. No, just work on one game. Let them be the ones behind it, and let the other core team work on the next generation or the next remake, if there ever is going to be one. Hell, at this point, I wouldn't even mind not getting a remake for some time now, if it allows them to do stuff like this.
I don't too soon still. Like, even a year after this, I think it's too soon. Let us bask in this.
Although I will say, I am assuming we're going to get DP remakes eventually. Next year, I would assume it's probably going to happen, because if you notice, the Crown's Tundra included the Reggies. You didn't see no Regigigas though. And where exactly can you get Regigigas? In the next game.
Region. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that was their intention at what they were doing. So if that's the case, then hell yeah, I think that's a great thing. But for now, let them just focus on one title before deciding to jump into the next one. Hell, you people were the ones that criticized them for always saying, they don't have time to work on things, they don't have time to create these games and come out on time. And then suddenly when a Sinnoh remake is close to being announced, you're like, oh my god, I can't wait for when this game comes out this year. And
yeah.
You don't understand or know what the hell you want. You just simply...
That's pretty much the problem that Terrell was addressing in his video.
Exactly. Yeah. It pisses me off when fans say they find one opinion on this thing, but will immediately shift to another the moment something happens. And it's like, no. Stay true to what you're saying and let them know how you feel. But don't switch your opinion in just the blink of an eye, man.
Right.
Stick through. Once you know how to do that, I'm pretty confident the community could strive and be a little bit better than what it once was. But seriously though, I'm happy with this, man. This is great. Look, they didn't even need to add the old Pokemon back, but that's just a nice bonus there too. All the old Pokemon coming back. And
Azora are back.
I love how those two were the ones in the front, by the way.
Oh yeah, they know. They fucking know.
They watch our shows, guys.
But the thing is though, the guy has, you know, the guy on the screen has Flame.
Flame. No, but it was like in the Pokemon fan.
Oh yeah,
Twitter
Flame
account.
is back.
Yeah, you didn't.
Holy shit! Yeah, I forgot.
You saw them sitting at a desk, and you just see them turning around the model.
That's right. Yeah, Flame's back. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think it's our XY flame though.
Hmm.
No.
Unless they tweak him to make it that. But I think the only thing that people are more pissed off, if anything, the real criticism for this, Tornadus is coming back. Landers.
Like
Landers.
everybody's back.
Shit. They brought you back? Well, I want to tell myself that he won't be as much of an issue now because the meta has changed so much.
And also, we have so many, a enemy in our possession known
there's so many different
the...
Pokemon. Like, for example, Corviknight has the hidden ability Mirror Armor or whatever, which means it bounces off abilities and attacks that lower stats. So, for example, Intimidate lowers the stats of the opponent when it comes out. But Mirror Armor reflects that. So, Landorus is hurting himself if he shows up on the battlefield to fight Corviknight, because if he shows up on the battlefield and Corviknight's on the battlefield, the Intimidate will activate and lower his attack in half.
Yeah,
instead.
So also,
and then we got Dracovish.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We have to use a key thing that we don't like to defeat evil. We have to use evil to defeat evil.
Even with an Intimidate cut down and attack, Dracovish I think has more than enough physical attack power, and it's super effective. It can kill the Landers even with a cut attack.
Yeah.
So Landers I think is just sort of outclassed by the times.
Yes, but I'm excited for this, man. I love this direction. It allows them to slowly add the Pokemon bit by bit, old friends coming back, and whatnot. So don't worry, guys. It will eventually come. Your partner friends will indeed come back. I mean, we didn't get our friends in the game when it came out, and now they're coming back in the expansion pass, man.
I just want the Captain America thing where he's about to fight Thanos, and then on your left, and then it just shows all the old Pokemon coming.
Oh yeah, and then of course instead of Ant-Man, it's Reggie Gigas.
Yeah, on your left.
Yeah, then of course Reggie Gigas instead he has on his hands the three Reggie trios right there.
Right.
Yeah. Oh god, already perfect right there. We are getting good shit. So yeah, also it seems, judging from what I'm seeing in the trailer, that Denny's going to be part of part 1 out of the 2.
Yes, so. I know he's going to be in the first DLC. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, because while it is confirmed to come 200 pieces of Pokemon coming back, they specifically stated it's 100, yeah.
Yeah, they come in waves, which, like I said, that means Denny's coming back first with Zora. Let's fucking go.
I'm excited, man. I am excited for this. Getting my old companion back. I can't wait.
Yes, I'm so happy. I got to build my team around Dene now. But
and now you got some new tools to play around with too, as well. Yeah. So in the chat though, I'm kind of curious because we did get a lot of confirmed Pokemon come back, and you can also check on the Sergi page as well to see all the confirmed Pokemon coming back. Which one are you excited to reunite with again? Just kind of curious there. And of course, the last thing we should talk about before we go and wrap things up for our Pokemon Direct discussion, Pokemon Home is going to be happening really soon, and they gave us a little bit of details as to how it's going to work. Although one thing I did notice, Pokemon Go was nowhere to be seen regarding the Pokemon Home thing, because they did mention that it was supposed to be a part of it to transfer the Pokemon from Go over to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield.
I want to tell myself
Niantic probably didn't have it ready.
Yeah, I want to tell myself they're still getting it ready because, okay, so Pokemon Go is weird. Pokemon Go and Let's Go are weird because the Pokemon have a lot less going for them than the Pokemon that are in the main core series. First of all, the Pokemon have abilities in the main core series. They have abilities and they have abilities and natures. The Pokemon in Pokemon Go do not have that. They don't have natures. They don't have abilities. They have CP, but that's only relevant towards Go. So they got to find a way to transfer the Pokemon to make it so that they have all that collective stuff necessary for them to be in a main core series environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because as of right now, you can only really transfer Pokemon between your phone via Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go. Because those Pokemon don't have abilities. They don't have natures.
Yeah.
They have CP. So you got to find a way to transition all that stuff over. I mean, it's sort of the same way as how in Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Pokemon didn't have the special physical special split on their stats, and they also couldn't hold red, blue, and yellow's Pokemon couldn't even fight them. Except for the Pikachu that secretly is holding light ball. And then they didn't have abilities at all. So yeah, they had to find a way to work around all that. So like TSS said, yeah, they're probably not ready.
We'll find out more information about it as we progress into the new month, because in February, this is when it's going to launch. So they did state we're going to get information really soon. And I'm looking forward to that information. And hopefully it's for the better. But yeah, so hopefully the Pokemon that you are wanting to see come back is going to come back. And it's going to be something that fans will enjoy. So, yeah, I got my pal back. Tyrone got his pal back. I mean, you got some fan favorites come back. You got Magnezone. You got Kid. What else you got there? Of course, Garchomp. Of course, poor Flygon out there saying he ain't got, nothing. He's like, I can't have anything in this goddamn house. Yeah. I love that video, by the way. That's my favorite one. You got Flame, of course. And I remember some people were telling me, hey, now that some Pokemon are coming back, you could finally recreate Ash's Alola team in this new era here. Yeah. So that's good too. But yeah, so
KG, I made a little picture on Twitter too, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see it actually. Hold on, let me see.
It's literally new. It's super new. It literally as of 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, so let me see. Where is it at?
You can post that up if you want.
No, like, why?
Because both you and I think we're upset that our mascots didn't.
Yeah, our mascots were nowhere to be seen, and I'm just looking at the shit. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. Hold on.
They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just gonna slap this here. Hold on, let me just do that.
Yeah, go ahead, and put it up. Oh my god.
Oh shit!
There we go. All right.
I just love the little Zarul just like hitting all the way in the background. Over
yeah, I had to put it back there where the people were.
Yeah, Tyrone did post
I already posted it on Twitter. It's already on Twitter. If you want to like it, please.
Our mascots are coming home.
I made that really fast on Photoshop.
Good job on that shit. That's really good right there, buddy.
Thanks. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the anime.
Alright, let's go and switch. Alright, there we go. And let me go and take this opportunity now to go and set things up. Why don't we?
Now, I watched the episode, but I think I'm going to let you guys talk to
okay. Yeah, because I have some things I do want to say about it. Of course, some good things.
Like, I have something to say about the episode. I watched it, but I think you guys will probably find more value out of it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I set everything up proper, nice and dandy. There we go. Okay. Should be good right now, actually. I'm just gonna go grab me a drink real quick while I'm at it. Hold on, let me get me a drink.
All right.
Because we are supposedly in, like, ad time, so we are good for just a slight sec.
So enjoy our message from our sponsor, Shadow Raid Legends. Now you too can be online and fight in the MMO or whatever the fuck it is.
You know what? I would be laughing my ass off if the advertisement that was playing was actually
Shadow Raid Legends. Part of me doesn't want Shadow Raid Legends to be a real game. Part of me just wants it to be a made-up thing that just takes over people's channels as advertisement.
Somebody says AFK Arena. Close enough. Right. Somebody got Shadow.
Oh my god.
We did it, boys. We won.
Shadow Raid Legends.
Now available on mobile devices.
Now available on mobile devices.
You know, if we ever do get a email from them asking for us to sponsor Shadow Raid Legends, would you do it?
Oh, go for it. Go for it like hell.
Just so you hear it.
I just want to do it for the memes, though. Like, for real.
Yeah, go ahead. I would not pass that up at all.
I would do that shit just to make like a joke, and then like every single week. You know what I would do? Every week, if I was to ever do that, I would like always try to make a conversation happen, and then just immediately Shadow Raid Legends. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the episode was pretty good. It had a lot of action. You want to know what else has a lot of action? Shadow Raid Legends.
Hey, that means you could be better than Linus Tech Tips on a freaking shilling.
Oh shit!
You want to know what else has a lot of technology? TSS. Shadow Ray Legend.
Look at these graphics.
Available for the fucking phone.
Mobile devices.
Oh,
All right.
TSS just go Shadow Ray Legend.
And just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there
go
you
buy it. So go buy it.
Once again, it has the quote right there with TS's name on it for
So
no
go
reason.
buy it.
There you go. All right, then. You guys ready to talk about the newest episode of Pocket Monsters 2019?
Yeah. Yeah.
Flip
If
the
anything,
monster ball, motherfucker.
yeah.
There
Do
we
it.
go. Also, kicking things off, let us talk about the newest waifu for this series. We got Best Girl, in my opinion. I absolutely adored her so much. She, to me, made this episode. But that's also because she was supposed to be like the main focus, which I found hilarious because despite her trying to be the main focus, she wasn't really the main focus, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, really, her Piplup was.
Yeah, Piplup and Krogan were... Well, she was just more of like the background character, if anything.
This girl
else.
just needs contacts for real.
Also, I will not lie. I did laugh my ass off when Kroga came from out under the water, though. First of all, why the hell is it there? You know what I mean? It just showed up out of complete nowhere, just taking a swim underwater, just like, oof, I found these glasses. And
Yeah, Krogan can't swim. I think the problem is that it's just not a Pokemon. It really made me stop and think, oh yeah, that's right, Krogan's a frog. That is
Yeah.
a thing that happens in
Yes.
Pokemon.
it's just like, you don't see it, so it just catches you off guard when it does happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
and well, the frog that Krogan's based off of more or less wouldn't live in this water, but like,
Yeah, so let us talk about one very key thing about this episode. It did actually bring certain fan favorites back. Piplup and Krogan, which surprisingly, if I'm correct, were done by the original VAs from them back in the old
That
days.
is correct. We have Etsuko-san and we also have Konishi-san.
So there you go,
But
guys.
the thing
You
is,
got it.
the thing is though, Greguru at first sounded a little bit different, and I was thinking, wait a minute, did the voice actors change? And I'm like, no, didn't,
Times
because
have changed.
same credit at the end. They probably did it because, well, last time Greguru has been on the freaking series was like 10 years ago.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The times have
So-
changed, and so did their voice
Times
too.
changed, yeah. So
Yeah, so like, listen, I don't mind. Like, I'm just happy that the original VAs for them came back, and while it wasn't based on the same people, like owned by the same trainers, it was nice that they still went out of their way to get the original ones that did make these characters so iconic to begin with to come back for this one. So I'm glad for that. Secondly, another thing that I really loved about this episode, and this is the one key thing about this episode that really surprised me. I actually like Team Rocket in this episode. To me, they saved this episode from being pretty boring. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that one, but honestly, Team Rocket in this episode really made it be something that stands out. Because, like, had it just simply been a race episode, like, I feel like it would have just kind of... I would have brushed this episode off to the side, but Team Rocket's element here added so much to it. And also... Meowth having a fetish now is something so hilarious that I can never stop thinking about. Because, like,
that's gross.
Like, the moment he sees the machine, he just looks at it and, like, he does not stop smiling. Like, he's seen, like, the glory days right ahead of him, and he just...
Oh, that's gross.
Dude, I don't know. Like, pay attention really closely to the scene when they put the coin on the machine slot. Meowth actually makes like a cute little meow sound when he gets the machine twirling, and I'm like, oh my god, he did that. Oh shit, it caught me off guard, man. It was like, dude, this is... I love this. I loved everything about Team Rocket in this episode. The whole Machamp bit with Beartic as well. Another thing I also like, once again, they're doing a great job with making Team Rocket be who they are. How James is commanding the Pokemon to do the right thing, and Jessie is more like, do that thing with your moves and whatnot. Like, she doesn't know the moves. Like, she just says, go, do it.
Yeah, and she was. Yeah, that does have me curious though. Did she only does that with rental Pokemon? Because Pokemon she owned, she knew the attacks too, right?
No,
Well,
Mimikyu was the same thing too, and
Mimikyu
Wobbuffet
the
is,
same
of
thing.
course, the one that began
Oh,
it
she
all.
just tells them to kill him.
Yeah, just straight up murder. Like, I don't care how you do it, just do it, isn't it? That's how she kind of acts,
Yeah.
So it was nice to see that side of Jesse, and of course to show that James, as Hyper mentioned in the chat, is the brains of the trio.
I mean, the Pokemon backstory is pretty good, considering that looks like needs some water, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
He needs some milk.
Well, I mean, it's also, the whole plot is about jealousy and all the other things, and I would. Well, yeah, and also for like Misaki, she needs to freaking like take a screwdriver to her glasses and tighten the fucking screws in them.
She needs contacts, but
no, those contacts will find a way to plop
obviously,
out.
yeah, obviously that's supposed to be a comic relief, which is fine. But here's another fact that nobody else will fucking talk about, and this episode was timed because this is a nod to the Sapporo Snow Festival, which is happening later this month and into early next month. Because that's
what? Hold on a second.
The Sapporo Snow Festival.
Okay, hold on. Let me go and take a look at this real quick while you're talking about it here. Let me see the Sapporo
Snow Festival.
I like the
because it's in the northern island. It's in the northern island of Japan.
I like that they're continuing this whole like go catching a new Pokemon each episode.
Yeah, Mantike.
He caught Tentacle and Mantike.
Yes.
Yeah, he catches.
Whoa!
He catches
this looks
Pokemon
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. This actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and the thing is though, in the scenery where you see all the stands and all the other things, that's exactly what they have at the Snow Festival too.
Oh, is this where they make like the snow sculpture displays and whatnot? Oh my god, the reason why I know about that is because Gintama made a parody about that in one of their episodes, and they had like this one particular bit about the Neo Jet Armstrong shit where it was based on this sort of joke right here. I did not know that originated from the Snow Festival.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, it looks pretty from what I'm seeing in the pictures here, man. So yeah, I'm loving it, but I never knew that this was supposed to be in connections to that. I mean, like, I understand the whole Snorlax bit because that made sense, because of course it tied into the Snorlax announcement for Pokemon, but like this is pretty cool. So, yeah. But anyway, continue on, buddy. Sorry to interrupt there.
Oh no, I was just saying that I like that he caught 2 Pokemon. I like the whole goes catching a new Pokemon each episode, regardless of if it's relevant or not.
Let's also talk about how Goat caught the tentacle that he didn't want.
Yeah, that I was literally about to get to that. He threw a Pokeball at the one he wanted, but it swerved out of the way and he wound up catching.
Nice, not so nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea that if you're trying to catch a Pokemon, that's one of the things I wanted to be covered in Go's journey to catch like all the Pokemon. If he's going to be a catching trainer, then they need to start doing some catch-related issues. Like, what if you try to catch a Pokemon, you wind up catching the Pokemon, just not the one you wanted?
Oh, I missed.
Yeah.
Somebody edit the audio when it actually hits the Pokemon. It's like the Wario voice. Oh, I missed.
Oh, so yeah, I like that they cover issues like that. I want to see an episode Go tries all these fancy Pokeballs to try to catch a Pokemon. It fails all the time, and a regular ass Pokeball does the trick.
It's like, well, I mean, I caught it, but it doesn't feel so special.
But as a
the thing about it is, though, is since this is a new perspective on how they're doing this series, technically this is not a filler episode.
No, none of the episodes are filler. Every episode has got a new character.
Go single-handedly is stopping every episode from being a filler.
Yeah, exactly.
He catches at least 2, I believe. I think the lowest he's caught is 2.
Yeah, because he caught 4 worm. He caught 3 Wurmple and a Tailo. He caught the Mantike.
He caught Mantike and Tentacool in this.
And then, of course, those badges of other Pokemon that he caught in the bug episode.
Yeah, in the bug episode. Yeah, he's catching a Pokemon each time. So
yeah.
In the Johto region, I can see that he'll probably catch like Hoothoot or something.
You know what I really like though?
What?
That they don't that they don't ruin the plot of the episode. Like, they feel very natural to the storyline too. Like when this episode, when they made it to Snow Point City, Ash is over there like, I can't believe we made it. Now I wonder where she is. And actually, where did go? And Go is actually on the other side catching a Mantike. And I love how the audience was cheering at his success.
Yeah, I do like that. I like that. I love when like
interactions
Ash
like
did
this.
it. Yeah, I love because Ash did it once when he caught Apom and AG.
Yeah.
Where when he caught the Apom, everybody was surrounding him with applause, just because he was battling a Pokemon in an area that was heavily populated. So I like that stuff. I like when the crowd around you is encouraging catching Pokemon.
Exactly.
Also, like Mr. Mime again because he has to make his.
Yeah, he
the body
freaked out, I think. And then I remember Piplup, because Piplup was swimming in the sink.
Yeah, it was just like,
Yeah.
wait, you, and also, I guess the most important thing, this man swum from Sinnoh
to Kanto.
the way to Kanto, and somehow lived to tell that tale, man. Like, that to me is the shocker of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't want to go back. I guess. She didn't want to go back.
Also, another thing as well, I love how quick we're going through these locations. It's like fast travel in video games. Because these characters are moving so quickly from one location to the next, and it doesn't feel like it's ruining anything, in my opinion. I like that. Like, I was because like that was one of my big concerns I had with this series, because like, how the hell are we gonna move from series to series or from region to region so quickly, just like that? But it's like here, it feels right. It feels natural. It feels part of the plot.
Well, they took a boat. They even stated that it is a mission. Pointed it out that it is a mission. Return Piplup back. I think obviously they got involved with this stuff, with the race and stuff, just because as a recreational activity once they were done.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like, it's off screen, but I like it. So Piplup got the badges needed for him and Krogan to enter the race. That means that off screen during the registration desk, this guy was giving people Pokemon and their Pokemon sticker to compete in the race. And then at some point, Piplup came up to the registration booth, hopped up on the registration booth, requested 2 tickets.
With its flippers.
You're right. Grabbed the stickers and hopped off and ran to Krogan to give him his sticker. Like, all of that happened off screen at some point.
And somehow the guy was pretty chill about it too, I bet.
Oh yeah, the Empoleon. I wish I would have had the freaking the face though.
Yeah. I mean, that's Kuki's Empoleon exclusively.
Also, I want to take this chance to thank to Symphonic Sins and Mirage Leonardo for following as well. Thank you guys so much. We actually managed to hit 550 followers now here on Twitch, so that's really great. Thank you guys so much for the support, guys. Absolutely appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, but
I like that Ghost Mantike had a personality too. They could have easily rid him off as one of the Pokemon that he caught, but not this. This thing does not want to. This thing does not want to be here.
He's like, man, all I was doing was just trying to take a simple dip, and
I was minding my own damn business.
He's one of those, Mantike, isn't he?
I was minding my damn business, and now I'm in a race.
This motherfucker caught me.
I will say this episode. This episode also really made me love the trainer battle theme. Like, I liked the trainer battle theme. It was okay in the video game. But for some reason, the remix, which they played a lot during the race, was really good. I don't know why. The trainer battle theme sounds so much better anime-wise than in the video game.
Yeah. Now, 2 things I have to say. First of all, and this is just my little complaint, only just because I really want to see more anyway. I love the music, first of all. I want to get this through to everyone. I absolutely love what they're doing right now with the score. It is absolutely fantastic. It's great. You know, and I also love, and this was something you mentioned before, TSS, the songs are working well with the scenes that are being presented. They make sure to like fade out the songs and fade back in, but to a different song, instead of just immediately cutting it off and then just going to the next one. No, they like fade out, fade in, and etc. But it feels natural to what's going on screen. With that being said, though, can we get some more music, please?
AG had the same problem.
I think they're waiting.
Yeah, I know they're waiting, especially like
AG had the same problem up until about AG 10, I want to say, or AG 11.
Yeah, of course. You know, with a new series and with a new composer, of course, all the original music had to have gone to scrap at some point. So sadly, that had to be the case.
I'm gonna answer Mirage Leonardo 84's question. How would you feel about?
You cut off there, buddy.
Oh, I'm answering Leonardo's question just because it's a highlight question. He said, "How would we feel about remakes for Conquest and XD Gale of Darkness?"
Well, what's your take on that, buddy? Since I think you are probably more knowledgeable on that than me.
I
anyway.
love Conquest. I want them rather than a remake, which a remake would be nice, but rather than a remake, I kind of want them to make a sequel. Only instead of revolving around the Nobunaga stuff, like the feudal Japan stuff, because they already did it. That we're done with that era. I want them to do like a Renaissance situation, like knights, and it would fit well with Galar, first of all, and it would be good to have like a medieval knights and Pokemon. You can even, if you want to be really ballsy about it, mix the Fire Emblem stuff with Pokemon. Have a Pokemon Fire Emblem crossover.
I'm still waiting for that Warriors.
How about something like in the vein of like Age of Empires or something?
Yeah, or something like that. But I wouldn't mind that. But as far as XD Gale of Darkness, I prefer Coliseum for its like edgy main character who used to be a villain or whatever.
But they only did that for like 2 seconds.
But XD Gale of Darkness, I guess, would be the definitive sequel to that type of situation. I don't know.
Coliseum had the story. XD had the refinements. Now just merge the two together.
Had the better. I would say XD had the better mechanics, but Coliseum is there.
Oh, dude, Pokemon Disgaea. Oh, dude, the day that happens, my heart would just be pure joy. I love the Disgaea franchise, man.
Going back to the episode, what else did?
Oh, what else we enjoyed from it?
Yeah, just in general.
Now, another thing I also loved from this episode as well is Ash and Go's chemistry once again, man. They bump off each other so well. It's absolutely hilarious. Like my favorite bit was when Ash and Go were cheering on their Pokemon, and suddenly out of nowhere you see Mantike just swerving back to the side, and Go's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Of course, then Mantike decides to lift Pikachu up from what it was swimming on and help it. And like Ash is like, "Oh my god, that's such a great lad." And then goes like, "Huh, as expected of my Pokemon."
Of course.
Yeah, like
that right there. Yep, that right there.
He did the of course without the glasses. That's all.
Yeah, it's great. So like I love little bits like that. I was always concerned.
The BL material, basically.
Also, thank you so much for the 50 cheer whale time. Absolutely appreciate it. But like, yeah, I love it when it's just these two characters. It's very fun just to see them bounce off each other. Although there was one little bit that really caught me off guard, and that was with the girl herself, Koharu. Because did you notice that when they were saying, "Hey guys, you want to go to Sinnoh?" and Ash and Go were like, "Okay," and when Go was talking, Koharu just shifted her head to the side, and she did not want to be a part of this conversation.
She was very tsundere about it. Like, I don't
she's like, I see you're going with that Ashy boy instead of me.
I don't want to go to Sinnoh any damn way.
Yeah, it's like they have to tell her to go. Be like, "Okay, I don't want to go, but if you tell me to, okay." That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I hope that the Koharu episode that we're gonna get soon will probably focus on that.
And to actually to finish off the plot vehicle, the plot device of this episode, which is Pokemon Greguru. They find when the rockets attack when Beartic attacks the ship, Misaki falls off the ship and into the water, and then they said, you know what, they both react and they say, "You know what, let's work together." And they they take off, they shoot off a raft, and they basically have it all laid out, and she falls into it, so she didn't hurt herself and possibly kill herself trying to getting into the cold water, because it probably was like below freezing.
She would have got hypothermia for real.
Yeah. So that finally wrapped up. But then what happens at the end is like, again, her glasses fall off into the sea. They both jump in, and then a Psyduck comes out. And then you just see them freaking the cracking.
Starting this bullshit all over again.
Bullshit all over again. That's what it is.
At this point,
that's
just let a Kyogre come out and just get the glasses for her.
Someone else also asked this really fast again.
Sure.
They said, "Are we getting a YouTube short for the Galar region on?"
Yeah, that wing sting, something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, honestly, I
'cause-
did too.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
7 episodes, but we don't have anything. We just have like a poster. Like that's it. There's nothing. No new information.
We'll probably get more information in the coming days. So, or maybe just not at all. They're just gonna release the episode and just be like, "Here, enjoy," and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
But yeah, so of course we have a couple of things we should probably say before we go and wrap things up for tonight. First of all, let's talk about the new episodes. We know that there are going to be a couple coming
Well,
up soon.
I'll just close out my thoughts on this one.
Okay, all right,
Just-
go ahead.
Yeah,
buddy.
really fast on my closing thoughts because this episode, to me, it definitely was enjoyable. I will say though, this is one of the most return to formula Pokemon episodes we've gotten since the Bulbasaur situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the most return to formula. It's like we have a conflict with the Pokemon. We're trying to discover that conflict. It's got a plot A, but then Team Rocket comes in as conflict for the plot that otherwise didn't have much of a conflict to it. The Pokemon use their abilities to work together, save the day, all is well. The only thing that bugs me is they didn't get to finish the race, because this reminds me a lot of that one episode back in OG, the Ponyta Rapidash situation.
Oh, where Ponyta evolved, right?
Yeah, where you evolved in the Rapidash and Team Rocket entered the race and defeated Team Rocket, and they were able to finish the race.
Yeah,
So-
but the difference is that race actually finished. This one was canceled because.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
interference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's literally my point. Was like they didn't get to finish the race because it got canceled because of Team Rocket. Whereas the other race, when Team Rocket, it didn't affect. I guess because officially they didn't catch Team Rocket on camera affecting the race or something. I don't know what happened. No, they were
Yeah.
on camera. I think the problem was I think they just kept the race going. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually saw what happened. That's why.
I don't think the referees could do anything about it because by the time they got over there, the conflict was solved more or less.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what happened. But yeah, it's definitely a return to formula episode. Team Rocket was involved, conflict, the same, all of that. And in the end of the day, our heroes work together to save it again. I mean, but it's a fun episode. It's not a problem that they return to formula because they have so many episodes where they don't return to formula. So it's a nice breather in between the other, things. Plus, they gotta kill away. They gotta kill 3 years. Yeah, they gotta kill 3 years worth of time. So
There's just one problem though.
what?
Next week's episode seems to be a little disappointing for some people. It seems.
Because Ash isn't the chosen child of the Rainbow Wing.
Well, we finally get the Burn Tower.
Again,
Yeah.
if we're not going to reference characters, we're definitely going to be referencing locations, and that's what we're getting.
People are going to be rather sour about this one because Ash isn't the one with the Rainbow Wing. And,
Although
yeah.
if they actually do give Ash a wing at the end of this episode that's coming up, though, that to me is going to be satisfying enough, man. I would be more than happy if he gets a Rainbow Wing at least at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm not expecting too much. And then again, I didn't expect much for the Pokemon Direct, and look how it turned out for me anyway.
I just want to keep on the down low and have it truly surprise me.
Yeah.
You wanna know what-
Even though I am
yeah.
enjoying about the series.
And you want to know what else is surprising?
Hey.
Shadow Raid Legends. I'm sorry, TSS. I'm so sorry.
Why you do this?
I don't know.
I'm gonna help you buy the shittiest parts.
I'm sorry, TSS.
It's okay.
But no, seriously, this was fun though. Like this was a fun. One thing that kind of weirded me out, but it was still funny. The weird recording, the recorder music, the flute. Doo, doo, doo.
Oh, the one when they were playing when they were like in the flashback.
Isn't that a recorder? The worst flute that ever exists in the planet.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
it sounded like somebody's kid was rehearsing.
Hey, at least it's not like you're playing My Heart Will Go On or something like that.
In the recorder.
The recorder version.
It fits well with the girl's clumsy like demeanor and like the Pokemon who.
Well, to be fair, they've used. I've heard a lot of anime use that. Like for example, Azumanga Daioh used a freaking recorder, like when Osaka. The people that actually remember that series. Yeah. Kind of the same way, the kind of the clumsy, airheaded kind of thing.
Yeah.
That fits. So I enjoyed that. It's diversity.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. It was a nice, fun little diversion. Like it fits well. I think they should have reeled it back a week. I know they couldn't, obviously, but this would have been a nice Christmas episode to me personally, or a holiday episode at least, because the whole snow aesthetic. I know it's supposed to celebrate the snow festival, like you said, but it fits very well as a holiday episode. Like if Disney were to one day, or not even Disney, just Japan, were to one day like just say, hey, we're doing a marathon of like holiday inspired Pokemon episodes, this would be one of them to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. It was a nice, comfortable little episode.
Yeah. Next episode is looking to be
good Saturday morning episode, if you will.
On a Sunday, though.
on a Sunday.
Blazing on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. But, I guess one last thing to talk about before we go wrap things up for tonight. Let's talk about the episode, the ones that everybody's gonna go and want us to talk about. Episode number 12, Leon versus Lance. I am shocked.
That's gonna be fucking sick.
I am shocked that that's even a thing. I don't know who was responsible for saying, hey, let me decide to bring two champions together in an arena, one from Kanto and one from Galar, have them duke it out with each other in episode 12 of the series. 12! We are literally in the beginning parts of this series, and they're already trying to go full force by having two champions go at it with each other, man.
It gives them something. It gives Ash and the others, I guess, something to shoot forward to.
Yeah, it means Hop lives. I don't know. We thought that was also.
Lance has to buy the $30 expansion.
Wow.
Like he's like, damn, I'm sorry, man, but your Dragonite's not actually available unless you buy the expansion pass, buddy.
Oh shit!
I hope my baby Dragapult
crushes. Dragonite's banned.
Yeah. What was the name of the Dragapult's first form? I mean, Dreepy.
Dreepy. Yeah, Dreeple.
Oh yeah. We're finally gonna see the Dreepies be launched. I want to see how that works. Is it gonna be like a kamikaze dragon?
I want them to make a noise like.
No. They rip the voice clip out of the fucking what was his name again? The one from Sun and Moon. The Ultra Beast Pokemon. The one that
Azuki King. Yeah.
Yeah, rip the voice clip out of that Pokemon. Just that going against the Dragonite. Guzzlord, there we go.
They just have Shinichiro Miki just fucking make the voice. That's
somebody says the Wilhelm scream.
The Wilhelm scream. Boom! Oh my god, that was perfect. Dude, that was perfect.
I watch a lot of Star Wars, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Of the Droopy have the biggest smiles and they're being shot out of this giant Dragapult.
Launch Droopy number 1. Boom!
I love how it cut off there, Tyrone, because it was like as if it immediately impacted and he just died then and there.
I know.
Oh shit! And he screamed. If anything, I would also like to see a Goofy scream like something like that, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the lemmings noise.
Oh, yeah, but the most important thing, I need to hear this. The sound effect when they actually splat onto the Dragonite, just like a little. Exactly like that, something like that, where it just like grows and shit like that. I would love that. Also, apparently the newest trailer for what was it? Black Widow's out. So I'm gonna go give that a shot later.
Oh, cool.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but Droopy lives to be shot.
Damn.
Oh,
yeah, good episode.
Yeah,
like I said, it's it proves that they're actually trying and they're mixing it up, and I'm liking that. And then we'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to more silly shenanigans with Ash and Go. It looks like the new year started off on a good note. Not the greatest note, but on a good note. And hopefully these other ones are going to be good as well. Now, somebody was telling us about Pokemon Coco. Yeah, that trailer that got announced. Unfortunately, as weird as this sounds, I have nothing.
Because they didn't give us much.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's
human beings.
I mean, I understand it's referencing the greatest Pokemon movie of all time, forever, with the Shrine of Celebi. That's it.
And just a couple of things here because I already iterated it in other places, but Pokemon Coco could mean a couple of things. I think Coco means here or this place. So they're kind of and they're focusing, I guess, on the human beings.
Yeah.
So they're talking about the specific like jungle place that they're gonna be in. So that's all we know. So that's how you got to interpret that as. It's not like that's not the name of the place. It's just like Kimi ni Kimeta. I choose you. It's kind of the same sort of thing. Koko Niari. Wareba Koko Niari. Like fucking Mewtwo fucking again, right? Anyway, but yeah, it means here or this place. So can't wait for more. Makes me wonder why the fuck did I go this year to watch that Pokemon movie instead of the last one?
Well,
the
to
last
be fair,
one
we didn't know, so
yeah, fair enough too.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But overall, it's going to be something to look forward to. I hope it's a good one, man. I hope it's successful, and let's just expect great things from this franchise.
And again, fucking Pokemon, the Pokemon International had to fucking say, "Oh, here's the trailer again." It's like, stop fucking doing this. Give us what we want. Actually make subtitles are a thing today. Look how much money look how much money companies are making. Stop getting your head out your ass. It's 2020.
Right.
Do it for us. 2020 vision. 2020 Barbara Walters. 2020 gives us subs. Please. Thank you. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, on that note, let us go and wrap things up then for tonight. Why don't we? I want to thank those in the call with me tonight. Of course, we got our pal Tyrone the God 3, and of course our other pal here, TSS Killer. Make sure to go check these guys out in the links down below. Go and follow them on their Twitter so you can keep up to date with their daily shenanigans. Tune in tomorrow, folks, where we're going to be continuing our adventure into the world of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Hopefully, it's going to be another good one. And yeah, anything else I might be forgetting? Make sure to just follow us here if you haven't yet. Thank you to those who have followed us here during the middle of our session for the night. Of course, we got, like, as I mentioned before, what was it, Mirage, Symphonic, Army Spirit as well. Thank you so much, guys, for following, and thank you guys for the support. We absolutely appreciate it. We hope to hear you guys in the next stream/video that we make. So take care, everybody, and as always, have yourself an awesome day.
And you want to know what else is awesome?
What?
Shadow Raid Legends.
Oh, God damn.